Hello, welcome back. Let's chat through all the books I own that have queer themes, LGBTQ characters, sapphic relationships, all the above, because it's Pride Month. Happy Pride. Let's just jump right into it. I have quite a few. I will try and give the best recommendations and summaries as I can. Some of these I've read, some of them I haven't, but hopefully you find something here you might be interested in. They kind of go across at least a couple different genres. So the first one I have is Our Infinite Fates by Laura Steven. I'm including this because our two main characters, as they get reincarnated throughout the years that they're alive, they're reincarnated in different genders and different identities and different bodies. And so their relationship takes a lot of different forms. But then what really makes me want to include it is they have a couple of really great conversations about their own individual identities. And because they've lived in a lot of different bodies, who do they feel inside? What is their internal identity, irrespective of any physical form they've ever taken? And so one of them ends up saying that they feel more aligned with being a man, and the other one says that they kind of feel like both. They feel more like all-encompassing. They're not defined by one gender. And so I really loved that discussion that they had, and that's why I wanted to include this one. The next one I have is The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. This is a sapphic relationship and high fantasy. And it's the first of a trilogy, I believe. So, very good. Then we have The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. Not all of Becky Chambers' books in this series, the Wayfarer series, have queer relationships, but this first one does have a sapphic relationship between a human and an alien. So love that. And I just love all of her work. It's very cozy. If you've heard anything about it, then you kind of know what you're signing up for, but don't come into this thinking like super high action, high tension, high stakes. There are some exciting moments and there are some high stakes times, but overall this is very quiet and much more like slice of life in a sci-fi futuristic world. Then we have The Deep Sky by Yuma Kitase. This is sort of a locked door mystery, but in space. We have a team of individuals who have been sent to colonize a new planet, and they are all assigned female at birth. So the only requirement for this trip was that you had to be able to gestate and carry a child. So we have trans representation, we have non-binary representation, we have sapphic relationships, and I just love this. I thought that was such a creative idea. And just a random aside, if you love birds, the main character also loves birds. So there's tons of like bird references and imagery in here. One of my coworkers loves birds, so I was like, hey, you need to read this because you love birds. Then we have, this is new, I haven't read it yet. We have The Incandescent by Emily Tush. This is sapphic dark academia. Seems great. Then we have Brighter Than Scale, Swifter Than Flame by Neon Yang. This is a novella, a queer fantasy novella. Looks great. Then we have Detransition Baby by Tori Peters. This is a more of a lit fic novel about three women. The inside flap says a whip-smart debut about three women, transgender and cisgender, whose lives collide after an unexpected pregnancy forces them to confront their deepest desires. So this will be discussing not only individual identity, as one of them sort of grapples with their gender identity, but also interpersonal relationships. And by that little blurb, seems like it's messy, and I've heard great things, and I love this cover. So definitely want to get to it at some point. Then we have These Burning Stars by Bethany Jacobs. I will admit, I'm extremely excited to read this because sci-fi is one of my favorite genres, and I have started it, but I'm not 100% certain where the queer rep comes in, but I believe this has great trans representation. So sound off in the comments if you read this one and let us know what that representation sort of looks like. But I've heard nothing but good things, and this has been on my TBR forever. Then we have This Is How You Lose the Time War by Amal Elmotar and Max Gladstone. This is sci-fi, but more leaning towards like speculative fiction. We have two like time agents writing letters to each other, and they end up falling in love, and they are both women. Here's another new release. We have When the Tides Held the Moon by Vanessa Vita Kelly. If you can see the beautiful cover art, we've got a human man and a merman, embracing. And this is the blurb for this is, The Greatest Showman meets The Shape of Water, but make it queer. And, yeah, say less. Sign me up. This one has been on my TBR for a long time. This is On a Sunbeam by Tilly Walden. This is a graphic novel with just some gorgeous art. It's a queer coming of age story. Then we have Kiss Her Once for Me by Alison Cochrane. This is a sapphic romance, and another sort of messy situation. We've got these two lovely ladies on the cover. They meet one night, have an instant connection, and then one of them, sort of leaves randomly, and the other one is left not understanding why they, didn't get more of a chance to hang out. And then, she ends up entering into a marriage of convenience with her coffee shop's landlord, goes home for Christmas, and who's there but the woman she had an amazing one-night stand with. So, adorable. It is Christmas themed, so if you care about seasonality, then maybe save this one for Christmas. Then I pulled An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green because I thought that this book, this duology, has really great bisexual representation. Our main character identifies as bi, and at one point, due to the nature of the events, I won't go into it, of what's happening, she is told she needs to identify publicly as a lesbian because of the nature of her relationship, and she finds that really frustrating and validating and very erasing of her bi identity, and so I just loved that was put in there because I really relate to that. So, and it's just great. I mean, this duology is incredible. Save one of the biggest for last. We have Priory of the Orange Tree. This is a sapphic high fantasy, dragons, really can't go wrong. And it's long, so if you just need something to dive into and experience a new world, then go for it. And I've got one last one just from the library I'm planning on reading this month. This is A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall. This is a historical Regency era romance where the female main character is a trans woman, and I can't wait to see how that sort of turns all of the traditional tropes from this genre on its head and incorporates that in a fresh perspective. And yeah, I think it looks great. Let me know what you guys are planning to read this month. I am planning on reading this, and then I have the audiobook for Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. I've never read any of his books, and so I saw that one on one of the Libro sales recently, and I picked it up. I'm also planning on reading Starving Saints by Caitlin Starling. That's my aardvark pick of the month. I have Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab coming. I just finished Gideon the Ninth, and so I'm going to be getting to Harrow the Ninth this month. That's sci-fi, lesbian necromancers. Love. And then when I was browsing Aardvark, I ended up picking up The Devils by Joe Abercrombie because I have the audiobook, but I thought it might be great to have the physical as well. And it was tagged as LGBTQ. So I'm not sure if there are queer themes in that book, but maybe there's character representation. And then the last book I picked up from the library on audio is Chlorine by Jade Song. This has elements of coming of age and queer identity and finding yourself. So that's everything that I own that has great representation, and then a little roundup of everything I'm planning to read this month. But happy Pride Month. Let me know what you guys are reading this month, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.